Hello Foxglove friends, welcome to today's reading with me, Rosalind, and this is Foxglove Coaching Spiritual Guidance. So today we are looking at how do they feel about you now. So you can think of any person who you want to understand better and you want to know how they're feeling about you, and then you can pick one of 4 piles I've done today. So we've got pile 1, which is violet. Let you have a little closer look at that. That's pile 1. We've then got pile 2, which is asters. We've got pile 3, which is tuberose. And we've got pile 4, which is apple blossoms. So just take some nice deep breaths, see which card is jumping out at you. Obviously you can do this reading several times for different people, so you can come back to it if you've got a question and wanting to understand how somebody else feels about you. But for now, just pick the card that is calling out to you about the person you're thinking about. The timestamps are in the description, and I will see you in your reading. Hello pile 1, welcome to today's reading. You have picked violet, and it says at the bottom, faithfulness and modesty. Modesty is a shining light that prepares the mind to receive knowledge and the heart for truth. And that is by a quote by Madame Guizot. I don't know how to pronounce that, but there we go. Now, this card suggests that the person you're inquiring about isn't necessarily very loud, attention-seeking, or demonstrative about their emotions. There may be somebody who's a bit shy, almost like a wallflower for some of you. Take what resonates and leave behind what doesn't. But somebody who is not necessarily entirely forthcoming in making grand gestures. It's a person who is quite reserved about what they say, but the things that they do say are important and they matter to the person that you're inquiring about. So sometimes we have so many words in the world, so many people talking, so many people saying things, but when this person that you're inquiring about speaks, what they say they mean, and I want to say they don't expect to keep repeating it, because when they've said something, it's genuine and meaningful. So we've got faithfulness here, and this flower also represents a lot about humility, purity, and loyalty. So I'm going to put that over here, and then, oops, if I can just make sure that fits nicely. Let's have a little look at what's been going on with this person so that we can understand this between the two of you. Spirit, what has been going on with pile 1's, I'm only on pile 1, pile 1's person. So we have got the 4 of Cups, heaviness, contemplation, dissatisfaction, apathy. Okay, let's have a look. What has been going on with this person? Oops, I can't break these 2 cards up. They're stuck. 2 of Swords, which can be to do with indecision. And we've got the Kid, optimistic, open, fun, adventurous, brave. So I want to say, I'm going to get one more card for you actually before I say what I'm going to say. At the minute, potentially this person, just for some of you, this may be relating to a younger person, a teenager or a child even, but it almost feels a bit teenagery or young adult. If not referring to a child, just take it, how it comes across. So let me get into what it's saying. So this person has felt a little bit. Four of Cups and stuck in the mud is kind of a very similar thing. This little doggy here is under the blanket and it doesn't want to get up. There may have been elements of depression even, or they just don't know what to do. The Two of Swords is showing that there's indecision in life. There's maybe maybe they're trying to decide whether to travel or whether to take on a new venture. But to some degree, they're just feeling like they don't know what to do in life, and they've got themselves in a little bit of a sluggish position with how they're living. And I think there's an element where they feel like they need to make a choice to change their life in some way or another, whether to take on whether to go out and get a new job, or whether to take up a new hobby, or whether to try and find ways that's going to make life more meaningful. And maybe they haven't always been like this. Maybe part of them is quite fun and funny and all that sort of thing. But elements of indecision about what they should do next is causing them to feel despondent and maybe a bit down, but certainly stuck. So let's have a look at how do they feel about you. So how are they feeling about pile 1, please, Spirit? For some of you, this could be with the actual relationship. Maybe it seems like there's a lack of va-va-voom between the two of you. I think we might have several scenarios here, so take what resonates and leave behind what doesn't. But it might be that they're unsure of what's going on in your relationship, or perhaps if you've been in a relationship with them for a long time, it's got a little bit stagnant, and it's sort of they're certainly not forthcoming in certain ways. They're feeling a little bit like they don't know what to do. So how do they feel? Oh, we've got indecision again. So there's some sort of indecision around you. This is how they feel about you. They're indecisive. Maybe they're nervous about whether you'll reject them somehow or judge them in some sort of way. Maybe they're unsure of how you feel about them. Okay, so they feel like there's friendship there. Let me just move these over, which is good. So they feel like there's friendship there, which is always a good start, because that makes a stable. I feel like this person is good-hearted and well-meaning, and they're a bit, because of the Violet card, they're not that confident about making shifts and changes, and they're worried about rocking the boat. And they're trying to be fun and exciting, but actually, because of their lack of choice making and their indecision, it's making them a bit down, and they don't know how to move forward. And maybe if it's referring to a romantic potential relationship, they may be scared of destroying the friendship that you've already got, which is perhaps what's delaying them a little bit. Or interesting. Let me how do you feel? How does pile 1 feel themselves, please? How does pile 1 feel themselves? Happiness. I'm aware that being happy means that I am on the right path. Good. So you're in a good state and you're having a happy time. They're a bit bored with life and trying to zhuzh it up a bit. Okay, but you do have worry as well sometimes, and it is possible to have both, to have a contented, happy life, but also you may be might find that you're worried about this situation, that you also don't want to cause issues or destroy the friendship that already exists. Spirit, what else can we get for pile one, please? So I'm going to get some advice for you. Spirit, can we have some advice for pile one, please? I feel like it's the person you're inquiring about that's causing a bit of a strange feeling in life for you, because you feel like you know what you're doing, but their indecision is maybe applying, making you feel a bit worried because it's kind of spreading. So rather than them just embracing what is and embracing the relationship in whatever way it is with you, they're not doing, because I think they're scared of consequences in life. Persevere is what you're being told. Persevere with this. So bide your time. Continue to be their friend. Continue to understand that maybe their life isn't as good as it seems. Maybe they're not enjoying it as much as they want to, although they're trying to. So what else we've got? Grace. When we sit in relationship with grace, we see every situation through the eyes of love, fostering our desire to meet life with understanding, compassion and kindness. This card asks that you view your situation with grace. Will understanding bring compassion? How would love view your possible choices? What would kindness suggest that you do? So grace is a lovely, lovely card, and when I think of grace, and try to live in grace, which is hard to consistently do. It's very much about being in the moment, about being spiritually in tune with your own soul self and with the divine, and knowing that there's bigger pictures, bigger learning in life, and to allow flow and trust that the right things will happen at the right time. So it's important not to apply force to this other person in any way, not to push them to try and get what you want out of them, if that applies, and to try and live without worry about it, and just to be a solid presence in their life that is consistent and, there when they're available, and consistently stable is what I want to say, because that will help to ease their indecision, that will help to ease their confusion about which directions to go in, and it'll bring out more of this optimistic, open, fun, adventurous kind of person. So if this is something that is new, that's coming into being, because the kid is often represented, well, that is the Fool card in traditional tarot decks, they may be feeling like they want to venture into something new with you, whatever that looks like, possibly initially friendship. Let's see, what other advice have we got? Excuse me, we've got two that have flown out. We've got bless your past. So maybe this is somebody from the past, or maybe it's just about not holding any issues from the past with regards to this person, and stay on course. So it's important to keep this person in your life. Interestingly, it's important to maintain. They're almost the same picture in different ways. This one's so sparkly with the divine involved, and this one is about enjoying the love and light that is in your life already, and making sure that you heal things from your past, and maybe this connection with this person will help to heal things from your past. Or if it is somebody from the past that you appreciated in the past and now they're coming back into your life somehow, it's a blessing that they've come back into your life. So I think this is a very nice reading, really. It's important for you to be calm and enjoy what it's offering right now. I'm just going to ask for another general card. Hold on. For pile 1, please. Regeneration. Yeah, there's something about this connection with your person, pile 1, that is going to make you feel more alive. It's going to make you feel like you can start to flower and bloom again. See how that light... I'm going to hold it closer so you can see what I'm talking about. There's like all these sparkles and this light shining on something that was a little bit tired or kind of had gone through a difficult time, and it's helping it to grow leaves and flower and bloom again. So it's like bringing magic back into life, Foxglove friend, and to bring the fiery passions of from your depths back to the surface to help start that, like that life force. When spring comes and all the little animals are excited and you can feel that life is blooming into life again. This is part of what this is bringing in for you, Foxglove friend, and in whatever form that comes in, it can only be a blessing. It's a really, really lovely thing. So don't worry too much about their confusion or their boredom or their lack of knowing how to proceed. This situation needs time, is what I'm going to say, Foxglove friend. So you enjoy your nice life, let go of worry because it doesn't change an outcome, and just stay true to the course that you're on, and continue with this connection and allowing it to bring whatever it's meant to bring into your life in a positive way, and being open with your heart to experience that. Thank you so much for watching, Foxglove friends. This is really, really lovely, and I wish you all the best of luck. If you liked this video, please do like and subscribe, because I would love to see you again. Take care. Goodbye. Hello, pal 2. Now you have chosen the very beautiful Asters card, and it says elegance and patience. Nature does not hurry, yet everything is accomplished by Lao Tzu. So this is lovely because the story behind the Asters is that when there's a lot of magic involved with this, and when Virgo was in the sky, the sign of Virgo, so we've got the star constellation that represents that. It said that character allowed stars to come down to the ground, and when those stars hit the ground, these beautiful flowers grew. But there was a lot of patience required. So the person that you're inquiring about and the relationship or how they feel about you, there may have been a lot of patience and a need for more patience. But the key point of this card is that those who have waited patiently for love to bloom will be rewarded. And this is all to do with surprises. So you may be surprised about how this does come to fruition, about how the love blooms within the relationship that you're inquiring about. So let's have a look. What has been going on with this person? Spirit, what's been going on with pile 2's person, please? What's been going on with pile 2's person? justice, accountability, clarity, responsibility, truth. So they may have been going through something in which they've had to sort out, which maybe has distanced them a little bit from you. 9 of Cups, desire, indulgence, abundance, fulfillment, gratitude. 9 of Cups can be the wish card too, but it's where, you know, all good things are starting to come to fruition. They're emotionally starting to feel satisfied, appreciative of everything they've got in their life, but sometimes it can be that there is one thing missing, like a particular person is missing in their life that they wish were there. The world, wholeness, integration, reflection, celebration, travel. So something has been going on for this person that seems like quite a big deal. The fact that the justice card is there, and maybe they've gone through a difficult time with something. Sometimes justice can be to do with legal things, contracts, whether it's to do with separations or to do with if there's children involved, where they've had to get you know, it's sorted out as to who sees who when, whether it might be to do with getting a new home if it's contract related. But something has been going on that's taken a lot of their focus and that started to bring things into fruition so that their life opens up for them, so that they've got maybe the opportunity to travel or more opportunity to do what they want in life. Let me get another card. So it's kind of turned into a lovely space, but I think you might have had to wait while these things have taken place. Oops, turned them upside down. Magic stream, yeah, look at that. So things are starting to come in now. Things are starting to flow better for them than they ever have done before. If they've gone through difficult past relationships or divorce or I don't know what it could be. It can be to do with the police or the law and all sorts of things. Like I say, there can be different issues, but things are starting to flow now for them. I want to have a look what Magic Stream says in the book because it's such a lovely card. Let's make sure we get all details. Yeah, so everything is connected through the universal flow of consciousness. Hold on, I need to cough. Let me pause this a second. There we go. Sorry about that. Every experience you have seems to have its own life story. Okay, with a beginning, middle, end. However, there is danger in seeing events as separate from one another, since in fact they are all part of a continuity and greater evolution. Like an ever-flowing magic stream, your experiences filter through the whole world, one leading into another, informing and influencing still more. Inspiration, invention, and revelations rarely come to just one person. The collective awareness is a shared storehouse of potential. When you remember you're part of the fluid continuity of life, you become a channel for great inspiration. Allow the magic to flow through you and carry your dreams into reality. Your success will benefit many. Okay, totally. So they've been going through something. They may feel like it was a different chapter, or they're wanting to keep something separate that was going on that was difficult for them. Because now wonderful things are happening for them. Wishes are coming through. The world is their oyster. You know, life is flowing in a positive way. Let's have a look at how they feel about you. Spirit, how does Pile 2's person feel about Pile 2? How does Pile 2's person feel about Pile 2? Adversity, accept that challenges are the best way to learn. Okay, so for some reason, it's either been difficult to spend time with you, or maybe there's been some adversity with you. Take what resonates and leave behind what doesn't. Let me just get another. There's been challenges. I feel like maybe there's been challenges to get to you. challenges to be with you, challenges that's for them to be able to spend time with you somehow. Yeah, patience. We've got patience twice. I accept that everything happens in divine order. So they realise they've had to be patient to be able to spend time with you, or to be with you, and it's been a bit of a difficult situation. Maybe you've gone through some difficult times together. Maybe you've had a few fallouts or a few, as you've been, if it's a newer relationship of some sort, perhaps you've been having to learn each other and sometimes you've clashed, and you've had to have patience with each other while you go through the difficulties of um, of understanding each other and getting used to each other. Let's have a look how you feel about this person. How does pal 2 feel about their person? How does pal 2 feel about their person? Relationship. So this relationship is important to you. I'm attracted to those people who serve my higher good. So you're probably feeling like, and then there's some blame. Okay, this is interesting because both parties are having an element where they feel adversity towards each other for some reason. I feel like your person felt like it was a really positive thing that you've come into their world, that they feel like they've got what they've been waiting for, that it's given them an opportunity, that they feel like in meeting you, they've received what they've been waiting for, and the justice after everything they've been through has been the reward of you coming into their life. However, this patience element, where maybe you've needed to have patience with each other, maybe you've had to have patience as you've gone through difficult times, and you're feeling like you're blaming each other for certain things. I want to say it's really important to be careful that you don't project past issues onto new people. A lot of fears and concerns come up as we get to learn somebody, especially if it's more in an intimate relationship, because you're more vulnerable in that state. They see more of you, you see more of them, because you spend more time together, you're more open, you share in your deepest, darkest secrets quite often. And that can mean that you see the shadow sides in them as well. We've all got the good, the bad, and the ugly. We've all got elements where we're absolutely wonderful to be around, and elements where we really knock people off. And for each individual who spends time with us, those facets will be different because we've got our own issues that get triggered by certain behaviours towards us. But I do think this patience element that's coming up. So maybe you feel like they've been patient with you if you're having problems with things that are coming up. Maybe you're blaming things from the past. Maybe you're blaming them for ways that you're behaving that you don't want to be doing. But I think from what it's saying here, I feel like that this is a positive connection, and that it is bringing a lot for you to help you maybe heal and clear and cleanse a lot of things from the past. Let's get you some advice. So how they feel about you now, I think maybe both of you are focusing on the difficulties and that have been within the relationship. And I think maybe you might need to encourage them in certain ways to try and change their mind about that. So we've got the gossip and drama card here. Be careful that neither of you are talking too much to other people about what's going on, or are listening to bad advice from other people. If you do have challenges within your relationship or things that are coming up, this is a point of time for you to communicate together, to lean on each other, to express why that is difficult for you, why that is difficult for them, so that you can find solutions without going outside of your relationship or without going outside of this connection too much. Don't let It's important to let other people's drama, I'm going to use the word that is there, wash over you a little bit, so that it's not impacting on this connection too much. Because we can easily be swayed and influenced. Maybe if you've got other family members who are kind of causing a bit of drama or gossiping or whatever, just don't react too much to that and just let it be a calmer thing, so that you're not negatively impacting on this connection, is what I want to say. Spirit, what other advice have we got? Forgiveness. Yeah, okay. So it's important to forgive. I want to say almost not even so much this other person, but forgive yourself and this other person and the people around you for maybe their bad behaviour. If they've behaved in a way, I think it's important not to buy into the bad and to try and start looking for the good, so that you can bring that to the surface and don't feed energy into the negative stuff. Maybe draw a line, have a conversation with this person and try and leadership. So it's for you to take charge of this situation and decide how you want to move forward. They obviously think well of you. They obviously think that you coming into their life has been a really, really good thing. So if there are problems, they can be turned around because they feel like they have got their just desserts by having you as in this connection with them. So that is positive. It's just a case of getting over these difficulties at the minute, and it feels like it's got a bit out of hand, and it's time for you to go, right, what is going on? How can we resolve this? So instead of feeling like a victim of the issues going on, take some nice deep breaths, calm your nervous system down, and step out of where you may have been defensive or feeling like you're a victim of what's going on, and start to go, right, what can we do to resolve these issues? How can we change things a little bit so that things are more positive? What's gone wrong? How can we make that better? From both sides. So it's not about carrying all the responsibility for what's gone wrong yourself, but it is about recognizing what's happened, learning from it, and moving on in a positive way. An empowered way is what I want to say, Foxglove friend. Independence. Okay, so you may be, the independence bit is all about making sure that you aren't trying to be too independent. So so for some of you, I think it's the fact that it's important to be independent enough that it's positive. So being able to stand on your own 2 feet, being able to make your own decisions during a day, being able to go out on your own without it being a problem, and to do the normal independent things that are required in life that gives you empowerment, and doesn't apply too much pressure on the other party because you're so dependent on them that it stifles things. But at the same time, it's important not to shut the other person out of major decisions because you're so independent. So to be able to openly communicate about what you want to do and understand how that impacts on them, and allowing them to help you if you're stuck or if there's a situation that you're struggling with. It's all about getting that balance, maybe with the people who are causing gossip and drama. It's you maybe want to talk to them about how to resolve that situation or what's going on, and how to approach it differently, so that you are a united front, so that you are working together. See in this card how this person is helping them up. They're connected, their hands are connected, they're working together to achieve what they're wanting to in life. So, let me get one more card for you. Just random. I want something random, please. Just to give information to pile 2. Chaos and conflict. Okay, hold on. I'm going to have a look at this. Interestingly, the zebra is changing its stripes to that of something. I don't know what that is. Hold on. Right, 33. Let's have a, I'm going to have a little look in the book to make sure that we're not missing anything good. Disarray, being at cross purposes with another, the tension of opposites, the value of chaos before order. Okay, so one thing that somebody used to say to me was, don't be afraid of the chaos because it's creating a new order. So maybe if the two of you have come together in a certain life and it's thrown a cat among the pigeons, with other people around you, and they've found it difficult to adjust, or they've found it difficult to, or there's been tensions and there's been adversities and arguments or whatever, part of that is helping you to rearrange your lives together so that you can move forward positively. Relationship message, it says, stubbornness is keeping you in a state of opposition. That might be where the blame's coming from. The incessant need to be right will only serve to prolong the conflict that deep down you want to be resolved. This is an opportune moment to learn about your values, your sense of self, what's really important to you. Some things are non-negotiable. If that's true, it's not necessary to fight. Can you find a way through the stormy emotions to higher ground? Soon the air will clear and you will be in a much better place than before, for the storm will have passed, blazing a path for new growth in its wake. Things can become electric and enlightened, always better than before, if you use this time constructively. Yes, so this is leading to better times ahead. This is just dissolving what is not required between the two of you, so that you can learn each other, so that you can clear out any issues, so that you can be better and stronger than ever in the future, is what I want to say, Foxglove friend. So, thank you so much for watching. I hope this helped. If you did like this, please do click on like and subscribe, because I'd love to see you again. Take care. Bye-bye. Hello, pal 3. You have picked tuberose. It says dangerous pleasure. The secret of reaping the greatest fruitfulness and the greatest enjoyment from life is to live dangerously. Frederick Nietzsche. I can't say that. But anyway, you can see that. That's who it's by. So this card, apparently Marie Antoinette had a perfume created of the tuberose, and in certain, I think it was in Russia in the 19th century, the flower was forbidden to anyone outside of the imperial court. And it can also, in Malaysia, it's known as the Mistress of the Night. Now, this card talks about allowing yourself to live dangerously. allowing yourself to feel your wild, passionate side, allowing yourself to engage with something that is maybe forbidden or a little bit risky somehow, or just allowing your wild side to be released. So I'm super duper curious about what's going on for you. Let's have a look at what has been going on between you and this person, or what's been going on with this person. What's been going on with this person, with pile three's person, please, Spirit? What's been going on with pile three's person? So we have got 8 of Swords, fear, entrapment, overanalysis and sabotage. So they look like they've been pretty darn stressed about something, or feeling trapped, or worried about something that they can easily step away from, usually, if they just change their perspective. Let's have a look. 8 of Wands, travel, acceleration, rapid change, adaptability. Okay, very interesting. So they've been going through fast changes, or something's happened quickly. Let me just see. Emperor, leadership, structure, stability, order and organisation. So perhaps this person is in charge of something, or perhaps that's part of what's trapping them, actually. Maybe for some of them. Let me get one more card. This is a very interesting energy. So, movement. Yeah, it's all about things changing and shifting. So somehow, and you'll need to take what resonates and leave behind what doesn't, because I'm just going to go with what I'm feeling at the minute. Maybe things have happened between you and this person very quickly, or maybe they've escalated to a position of responsibility or leadership that's happened quickly, or maybe they've got something going on. There's an element where they feel constricted, or where they feel worried, or where they know that their life is not as free and easy as it once was, and things have changed quickly for this person. It doesn't necessarily mean it's a bad thing, but it means that their time or energy is more restricted than it used to be. That's what I want to say. So this could be a positive progression for them, but it just means what's thrown me out is this finding the wild side, finding within the connection that it's more dangerous, or more don't know, it's really weird, because it feels like they're having to be in quite a logical state of mind, I want to say, or maybe they're letting their logic rule more what's going on with the connection between the two of you, because of responsibilities that they've got. Let me see. I want to see, how does this might get revealed as we go through a bit more. How does pile three's person feel about pile three? So how do they feel about you, pile three? How do they feel about you? Forgiveness. I acknowledge that harbouring resentment blocks the flow of love. So, interestingly, they've been feeling resentful towards you for some reason. Or perhaps there's been a degree of... Yeah, no, that's how they... So, bizarre. So they're feeling a need to forgive you for some reason. Let me get more information. Spirit, how does pile three's person feel about them? About you, even. Perseverance. I know that I can do whatever I set my mind to. So something about the connection between you and this person has been difficult for them. maybe you have been a little bit, perhaps you've said things that you shouldn't have said, perhaps you've allowed your temper to show, perhaps you've been angry at them or unkind or inconsiderate towards them as they've been going through swift changes where they're more restricted, where their time's more restricted, where they've taken on um, some sort of leadership role, or they're in a position of leadership that they can't, and they've had a promotion, or maybe they've, I don't know, maybe they've moved house, or yeah, maybe they've moved location somehow, or they're having to physically move around more. You know, if they're having to go to different places each day than they ever used to do, maybe they've not got as much time as they once had for you. Or maybe you've got cross at them or said things that have been hurtful in the past because you've got more of a fiery nature, or you've got more of a creative sort of characteristics that are a bit less logical, um, and they've tried to persevere with the connection that you've got with them and tried to forgive you for the things you've done to keep you in their lives. Take what resonates and leave behind what doesn't. I just want to see how all these cards want to fly out. I feel like there's a lot of thoughts, a lot of emotions, maybe from you, maybe from them. Just for some of you, maybe the person that you're inquiring about could be a bit musical or like music, or maybe play an instrument. Just see if that is, but just take that if it resonates. How do you feel about this person? How does pile 3 feel about their person, please, Spirit? So you're feeling some worry in connection to them. Maybe you're worried that, okay, maybe you feel like you've done things wrong. So maybe you're worried that whether they'll forgive you or not. Maybe you're worried that you haven't done things in the way that you wanted to. And sometimes it can be difficult to admit when you have behaved in the wrong way because of pride, because of not wanting to let yourself be seen as the bad guy. I tend to find generally that honesty is the best policy. So rather than trying to brush over something, which then just sits under the surface and festers, it's better just to be honest and apologise and be sincere. And if you are worried that you've done something wrong, you know, be willing to have that conversation. Be willing. I know it's difficult. I can understand how difficult it is, especially if the person's pushed you away a bit. But here they are trying to persevere with this connection with you, to try and forgive you, to try and see you in the best light. So just be mindful of that they are trying to continue with this connection that they've got with you. Spirit, can we have some advice, please, for pile 3? Spirit, can we have some advice, please? The bigger picture. Okay, so sometimes, particularly during times of accelerated growth, which is what's shown here, there's like this 8 of Wands is fast movement, and growth can be, look, we've got leadership and different things. We feel confused and overwhelmed, unable to see the woods for the trees. This card asks you to stand back and see the bigger picture. Everything is happening just as it should, and you will soon regain clarity. So I think the part of this is not to focus too much on yourself and worrying about what's going on, because they're going through quite a lot by the looks of it at the moment, or have been doing. See the bigger picture in relationship to the relationship, you know, with relevance to the relationship. If it's been a long relationship, recognise that time I want to say that time isn't as important as you might think it is. Allow space. Allow this person to have space as they go through all these things. Allow yourself to recognize that the connection still exists, and it's going to go through peaks and troughs, as any longer term connection does, and to be patient and try to be kind, which will help to improve things. Interesting, we've got learn to say no. Saying no is an act of love. When we say a healthy no to an abusive situation, whether this is in response to another person or to ourselves, we are setting limits and establishing healthy boundaries. A healthy no is saying yes to life. Give yourself permission to say no. Okay, so perhaps you need to focus on what you're doing in life and what matters for you. It's interesting, we've got the for you to say no. Maybe you need to say no to certain behaviours you've been using with them as well, so that you can actually start to stop doing anything that is going to erode the relationship, or the connection, and to start living in a healthier, more positive way yourself from emotional and mental perspective, and to be honest about what you like and what you don't like, and what you want to do and what you don't want to do, because that truth and honesty then helps to develop trust with connections, even if it's something where you say, no, I don't really want to do that, or I don't know, I feel like there's a few different elements here where it's important for you to know what your boundaries are. Sorry, I was just having a moment to think about this. I think it's important for you to know what your boundaries are, but also for you to recognise the things that you're maybe doing in relation to them that isn't working, and to stop doing it. I'm going to put that like that. Spirit, what other advice have we got for pal 3, please? Take a risk. Step out of your comfort zone. Feeling safe and secure is a wonderful experience, but if we remain in our safe zone for fear of change, we create a limiting and restrictive environment that can ultimately lead to stagnation and the loss of our creative potential to manifest our greatest contribution in the world. Let go of fear and take a risk. Okay. Expectation. Expectation is a form of memory. Our past experiences colour our expectations of future circumstances and outcome. You are asked to release any form of negative expectations based on past experiences and centre yourself in the infinite possibility of now. So that's quite strong. Those 2 cards there are quite strong, that it's important that you consider, what are you expecting from life? How are you expecting people to treat you? Have you had difficult times in the past that you're hanging on to, that you're connecting with, that you need to let go of, so that you can start to enjoy the reality of now, which is maybe safer and happier than it was in the past, to be able to put yourself out there independently so that you can enjoy life a little bit more. So just consider those things. Let me get you one last card. Spirit, please can I have one last card? One last card for pal 3 to help them. Regeneration. Okay, so I want to say it is time for you to start embracing life. And this may take some pressure off this connection, because they've obviously got a lot going on. But it's maybe time for you to start doing things to regenerate yourself. to step into a spring cycle of your life where you're starting to learn to love life again, where you're starting to figure out what's right for you, where you can independently start to engage in life without too much pressure on this connection, because that might have a positive impact on this connection. Because then, you know, if you're happy and you focus on your own happiness, you'll be happier when you're with them, and that will spread, and that will make them feel less worried, or um, it can ease the issues around relationships. So I'm going to look in this book just to read a little bit more for you about regeneration, just to make sure we don't miss anything that's important. And it may be also, as I'm flicking through this, what's coming to mind is that you can bring regeneration into this connection, is what I want to say. That you can heal and help this start to bloom and grow and be in a better place by changing the way you think about things, by clearing away any negativity and engaging in things in a positive way. Let's have a look. Rebirth, second chances, new opportunities. So there are second chances available to you now. Whatever opportunities you thought were dead are now revived in a more authentic, stronger form. Whatever you may have perceived as a failure or a loss is now being replaced by something better and more powerful growing in its place. This rebirth is assured. Step into your new life. Destiny is being fulfilled. So, the world is based on connections and relationships. No matter what loss has occurred in the past or even now, death and endings are only illusions. There is life after death, love after loss, and in this moment you are radiating the regenerative life force energy that makes you irresistible to love in all forms. Now is the time when you will see evidence of this anew emergence. Can you feel it? Love is rising up to greet you. So when you're asking the question about how does this person feel, they're trying to forgive you for certain things. They're persevering with this connection. They're very busy and they've got lots of stuff going on, and they're maybe going through some difficult times because they haven't got the freedom in some way, or they're having to use their logical mind to deal with a lot of things. So I think the thing is to focus on yourself a little bit more and give them a bit of space even in certain ways, so that you can allow this to start to gently blossom as you step into the future, and to focus on positive things for yourself so that you can start to grow and blossom more, and that will enable your relationship with them to grow and blossom more as well. Thank you so much for watching Pile 3. If you like this, please do like and subscribe, because I'd love to see you again. Take care. Goodbye. Hello, Pile 4. Welcome to today's reading. You have chosen Apple Blossoms. Now, apple blossoms, well, it says at the bottom, choices, knowledge and illumination. White are the flowers of apple tree that brings us fruits of fertility. So, this is very interesting, because this card is obviously all about choices, which it says there. It can be a gift of love. The apple blossom was a sign of fertility and offered as a gift of love. So maybe there's certain choices that have been taking place between you and this person in the act of love. Let's put this over here. But also this card represents a lady's ability, or a person, sorry, it's because in the book it says a lady's, a person's ability to choose a suitor of their choice. So let's have a look at what's been going on for the person you're inquiring about. What has been going on for your person, Pal 4? Everything's flying out. Everything's flying out. Perhaps they've had all sorts of stuff either going on in their head, or going on for them all together. What's been going on for your person? King of Pentacles, success, wealth, achievements, abundance. Okie dokie. So that can often be somebody who feels like they've got everything that they want in life. They've been able, they've got a nice home, they might have a nice job, they might have all their family around them, they might have achieved sort of things that they want to achieve in life, or they might have that sort of stability. Queen of Swords. So this is somebody, the king can often, can obviously be male, the queen can sometimes be female, but the characteristics of both are Queen of Swords is independent, successful, transformational and honest. So maybe they've had an experience where they feel like they've got everything that they want, or they've had to use their logical mind. This is interesting. So we've got the Four of Cups. So let me get one more card before I see what's going on. Oops. Magical Map Shifter. Wow, look at that. That's interesting, isn't it? So what we've got going on here is a variety of potentials. To take what resonates and leave behind what doesn't. So there may have been somebody who's quite independent or quite logical. Perhaps they're quite logical or they're quite independent, who's been quite honest and maybe said things that can be cutting or can be a bit aloof or can be a little bit emotionally detached sometimes. That could be the case for some of that. Might be a woman in some cases. There could be somebody who's been working hard to make sure that the family's provided for, or to make sure that there's stability within the home from a materialistic sort of view, so that there is a home to live in, so that the bills are paid. There's those elements. But at the same time, there's this aspect of the Four of Cups where they've felt a bit stagnant. So your person has felt a bit fed up or a bit down or a bit like they don't know what to do next to make life seem a bit more exciting and a bit cheerier. I'm just going to have a look at what exactly is said by the Magical Map Shifter. So this says, Spirit orchestrates everyone's destiny. When the Magical Map Shifter card arrives, it comes with a mission to make you aware of the people who come into your life to impact your personal growth. Perhaps you may meet a soulmate whose presence, invites you to be the best you that you can be, or someone who leads you out of difficulty and into a place of safety or success. Pay attention to those individuals who cross your path today and cause you to reflect on your journey. Be awake and aware, and you'll recognise them for the important change agents they are. Your whole perspective about who you are and why you're here will shift. The Magical Map Shifter always initiates you into a better version of yourself. Okay, so something's been going on. Maybe there's been some conversations with you and your person, or between your person and somebody else, which has been a push to a little kick up the booty in some way or another, to push them to make choices and decisions that is going to make their life better in some way, whether it's to make life better for themselves, whether it's to make life better for the family environment, or for you. Perhaps you have had quite straight, honest words about the choices that they're making, so that you can help them to be a better version of themselves, so that you can help them to enjoy life again, because they've been a bit down and a bit apathetic about life, and offered them, somehow opened a door that allows them to have options and choices. So that's what I'm going to say about that. Let's have a look. How does your person feel about you, pile 4? How does your person feel about you? Spirit, how does pile 4's person feel about them? Regret. Interesting. So there is elements of regret, either about how they've treated you or about what they've actions that they've taken, or maybe inaction because of the 4 of Cups here, that they haven't provided you with all these options and a happier way of being in life. There's maybe the fact you might have had a very honest conversation with them about what's going on and how you're living life and what you want out of life with them, and there's an element where they feel bad about things that have happened in the past, things they've done, things they've not done. Friendship. So they do, no matter what sort of relationship or connection this is, whether it's romantic or work related or a friend, they do, that friendship between the 2 of you is a solid element to them. You're important to them in their life, and they, you know, they want to keep you there, and they feel a strong connection with you in which they can be, you know, with friendships you can be really honest and open and experience the joy, the sadness and the difficulties, and still maintain that connection, which is really, really good. So let's have a look. So that's interesting. Let's have a look at how do you feel, pile 4? How do you feel? How do you feel? Peace. I am a being of love and I release all negative energy. Yeah, so maybe you're actually quite spiritual, or maybe you just recognise things from a higher perspective. How do you feel? Judgment. Interesting. I understand everyone has their own unique path and challenges. I feel like you've been quite mature, is what I want to say, with what they've been going through, because somehow you have opened up potential in their life for them that they didn't feel that they had before. You have, yeah, the illumination bit of this card is standing out. You've helped to help them to see and understand something that was keeping them dissatisfied, keeping them feeling like maybe they've got self-worth issues, and you've sort of helped open up all this potential for them. But part of you possibly does feel a little bit judgmental about how they've behaved, which is why there's the regret there. It's maybe that they've done something that it's very hard not to judge. You know, sorry, that's Luna Boona having a little joining in there. But you're sort of at peace with what's been going on now. I think you've made your peace, or maybe you're just quite a peaceful person, and maybe it's been difficult for you to have these conversations with this person in your connection because you just want peace in your life. You want peace in this connection. You want peace. You want peace. And they've impacted on that in a negative way maybe, and that's possibly annoyed you a bit, and you've felt quite judgmental about the fact that they're impacting on your peace, because you could have peace and what's been going on has been unnecessary, which they realise and regret. So let me get you some advice. I feel like, as I'm reading through this, that there is a great amount of respect for you, that they feel respect for you, and that they value this connection, and that they value the way you've opened their eyes to things about what can be done and what can change. advice, please. Self-care. So it's important that you take care of yourself during this process, Foxglove friend, as they're going through their understandings of what's going on and what they should be doing in life, and trying to shift and change and try to lift themselves out of something that they've been stuck in. It's important that you don't just focus on them, that you focus on you. Self-care is not an act of selfishness, it is an act of consciousness. This card invites you to prioritise your own self-care. This may feel selfish to you, but in truth, when you attend to your own needs with love and care, you create an inner wealth that radiates into the world, impacting positively on all that you come into contact with. Yes, and no matter how we're connected with another person, we still walk through this life alone. There are times, and that doesn't mean you're not connected, but your being, your connections with other people matter as well. Your connection to yourself, the relationship you have with yourself, the way that you enjoy life. A lot of the time, we can often give everything we've got to one people or to our family, but sometimes it's important that we have the unique joys that make us happy so that we can thrive rather than just surviving in our lives. You know, we come to earth, I believe, we come to earth for this experience as spiritual beings to enjoy the gift of life. And it's important that you allow yourself to do that, Foxglove friends, without putting everybody else first all the time. You've also got, interestingly, you've done nothing wrong. Whatever has taken place was out of your control and out of your hands. This card asks you to let go of any feelings of guilt or personal blame. This was not your fault. You've done nothing wrong. So maybe judgment is going against yourself as well. Perhaps you're feeling judgmental towards yourself. You know, we've got two things here. It's almost like you just wanted peace. That's just what you've been looking for. And in getting peace, you need to ensure that you actually care for yourself a lot during the current process somehow. And that if you are judging yourself for decisions or choices that you've made, it's important to let go of that, because you haven't done anything wrong during this process. And maybe people appreciate you more than you're realising, Foxglove friend. Let me get a couple of more advice cards. Persevere with what's going on at the minute. Persevere through this process, because you're on the right track, Foxglove friend. And trust the universe. Perfect. So, I'm going to read this as well. Sometimes we can strive relentlessly to make something happen and then experience huge disappointment when our efforts do not work out. Whilst action on our part is required, if we are too determined to stay on one course only, we inadvertently block ourselves from the guidance and direction that the universe is trying to bring to us. This is a time to trust and let things happen. So just make sure that you're not trying to control anything too much, that you're allowing yourself to go with the flow, because the universe has your back, Foxglove friend, and the right things are happening at the right time. You know, sometimes we want to rush things, we want them to happen, especially if we've been waiting for a long time for it to happen, or we've been wishing for something for a long time, but everything happens at the time it should. All the kind of little pieces are currently aligning, and it's important not to give up right now. Oh, serendipity. How nice is that? So, even though you're going through what might be a bit tricky at the minute, times, this is all leading on to something that's going to be much more light-hearted, much more easier. It's all I'm just having a quick look. This is luck and good fortune appearing as signs and symbols, a magical alignment of events. So trust the universe. This is a magical alignment of events. Things are happening at the right time. We've got magical again here. We've got quite a lot. I feel like you're getting quite a bit of support from spirit. They're making things happen in the right way, in the right order, to support your well-being, to support what's right for you, Foxglove friend. You've stepped into alignment with the greater good, where your dreams and the collective dreams resonate in equal harmony. Now is the time for luck and preparation to meet and create miracles that you could never have planned all by yourself. So things are going to turn out better than you think. Um, Spirit has a plan, and that plan is to place you in front of the right person at the right time. I think this connection that you've got with this person is also, it's meant to be. You're meant to be in connection with this person. It's all part of your soul's journey, and it's a positive thing. So, just know that this is all good luck. We've got a 4-leaf clover here. Things are going to turn out well, Foxglove friends. So don't worry. Just make sure that you're looking after yourself quite well, and let go of any guilt or worry about choices and decisions you've made, because it's all going in the right direction and it is as it's meant to be. Lots of love and best wishes to you, Foxglove friend. Thank you for watching. If you did like this, please do click on like and subscribe, because then I'll get to see you again. Take care. Goodbye.